30 years ago, when you walked into a music shop looking for a cheap guitar or bass, really it was quite hard to find anything good. There was sort of very expensive stuff and then very cheap stuff, and not much in the middle. Now, fast forward 30 years, and we have manufacturers who are producing very nice stuff indeed. One such manufacturer is this, that's made these three basses here, the Sire company. And all three of these bass guitars have Marcus Miller written on. Kids, Marcus Miller, look him up. He's only one of the most influential bass players and music producers the world's ever seen. So he's not going to put his name to something that isn't that good. Let's have a listen. First up then, we've got the U5. This is a short scale bass, so it's perfect for people with smaller hands or indeed kids. But it doesn't sacrifice any of the quality of the larger instruments. You do get some voices sometimes with short strings creating some weird sort of sounds. Not so with this. Look at the finish here, it's just really nicely done. There's nothing cheap about this, except the price, 400 quid. Now, this volume does this pickup, this volume does that pickup, and then a master tone. So it's a passive instrument, very similar to the Fender Jazz in its layout. Let's have a listen to the neck pickup. Very nice indeed. The frets are dressed very nicely. If you just run your fingers along the neck, you can hardly feel they're there. It's just really nicely done. Looking at the bridge pickup now, you get this sort of fat mid-range tones. And the harmonics work really nicely as well. Sustain's really nice. Put the pickups together with a bit of slap bass. You get some really responsive stuff coming out of this. Fantastic. Now, moving on. We've got two other basses here to get through. But remember this one, just go and buy one. So, just changing over. I'm going to do the 5-string next, because actually this is the sort of next cheapest, if you will. So it has active electronics. I'm just going to show you a bit about the controls first. Now, we've got obviously 5 strings. We've still got the 2 pickup arrangement, but we've got rather a sort of plethora of things going on here. Some of the knobs have got stacked, sort of two per sort of shank. This top one here is volume. And then we've got like a master passive tone. Now that's the thing here. It's an active bass, but you can switch it to passive. Really useful. If your battery dies, you just carry on playing. However, the active electronics really do give you rather a lot. Now we've got the next control down here is a pickup selector, so that you've got this way, you've got this pickup, and that way you've got this one, or in the middle. And then we've got some other controls here. Now we've got a treble control here, a bass control here, and a mid-range that's got a sweep. How cool is that? So just listening to the guitar itself. Just have it in active mode first so I can show you those controls. So we've got this. I mean, the bass on this, I mean, that's just shake a house to pieces. There's so much bass available, and it's really responsive, very wide ranging. You can do anything with this. Then we've got a treble. Fully cut or fully boosted. But the mid-range, it's like 58 guitars in one guitar. It's absolutely lovely. Now, I'm not really a 5-string player, but if you were to get a 5-string bass, this is an absolute steal, and it sounds great. I mean, what more do you need? Well, it plays itself, really. Now that was the V7. Lastly, we've got this, the P10. Now this is the more expensive model. And it's just very, very nicely done. I mean, you've got this sort of clear scratch plate, nice finish, these sort of mother of pearl inlays. It's dressed really nicely. It's got a nice bridge on it. It's got the same electronics, albeit in a slightly different layout to the other, so that you've got your bass here, then your middle and treble and pickup select and volume and tone, with a switch that says passive or active. Now let's plug this one in. Whoa, the bass end! Ah! If you're playing reggae and dub, this is your bass. It's just got tons and tons of bass. It's absolutely brilliant. And with that mid boost, with the active, you really can you can cut through. Lots of people think that only bass end will cut through in a mix, but actually it's the mid-range that really, really says, there's the bass. So there we are. There's three very, very nice bass guitars. And if you were to think of getting a bass, or three, you should get these. Now, the only trouble is these belong to a friend of mine, but I don't want to give